Alright guys, so this is going to be a get ready with me video that I filmed while I was getting ready for my company's holiday party, so I hope you guys enjoy. So I'm starting out with a freshly washed face, and I did do a mask beforehand so my skin is nice and fresh and ready for makeup. So I'm going to start out with my Makeup Forever HD High Definition Elixir, which is a facial serum. And this is a great serum just to prep my skin for foundation and to add some hydration, and it's oil free so it's not going to get all greasy throughout wear. Then I'm going in with my eyeshadow helper from Lime Crime, and I'm going to apply this to my eyebrows, and this is just going to prep my eyebrows for the eyebrow products and make my eyebrows long wearing so throughout the night they won't fade and dull down. Then I'm going to apply some eyeshadow primer to my lids, and this is going to keep my oils at bay and help prevent creasing of my eyeshadow throughout the night. And I do brush through my brows to distribute the primer so that it's nice and evenly distributed. And then I'm going to grab my Brow Wiz pencil from Anastasia. This is in the shade Brunette. I'm going through my brows first with the spoolie end, and then I'm going to go ahead and fill in my brows. I'm going to outline it and fill it in. And I do have a tutorial showing how I fill in my brows step by step, so if you want to see that, I'll have the link below. But I'm just filling in my eyebrows with the Brow Wiz, then moving through them with the spoolie. And then I'm grabbing my Paula Dorf eye definer brush and grabbing my brow powder duo, also from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and just work it through my brows with that brush. Then I'm going to grab some concealer, and this is the Pro Longwear Concealer from MAC. This is in the shade NC35. I'm applying that beneath my brows with my Bare Essentials Maximum Coverage Concealer Brush, and it's just a sharp tapered shape, so it will help me apply my concealer with a nice sharp line. Then I'm going to blend everything out with my Zoeva Concealer Buffer Brush. Then I'm grabbing some Algenist eye cream and applying this under my eyes just to moisturize that area so that my concealer will go on smoothly and there are no dry patches. Then I'm grabbing my Lane Low Paint Pot from MAC again with the Zoeva Buff-In brush and applying that all over my lids to give myself a nice even canvas for my eyeshadows. And this is going to even out any discoloration and also give me the smooth, even, plain feel for the eyeshadows. Then I'm grabbing my full cover concealer from Makeup Forever. This is the shade number 12. And then I'm going to dab it out under my eyes using the same Zoeva Buff-In brush. And I'm not really buffing this product on, I'm really stippling it on so we get maximum coverage. And I'm just dabbing it over the areas that I need coverage, so my dark under eye circles and my inner tear duct areas. And then I'm going to grab my Beauty Blender sponge, and it's dampened, and just go over that area so it blends out the edges and blends in with my skin. Then I'm grabbing my eyeshadow palette. This is the Viseart Neutral Matte Palette, and I'm grabbing 2 of the neutral shades, which I'm going to use as transition shades, and I'm applying that with my Deluxe Round Shader Brush from Ray Morris in my crease area, just going back and forth windshield wiper motions to buff that color on. And then I really didn't like how that turned out, so I'm grabbing my Hakuhodo J5522 brush instead, which I prefer, and this applies the color much better. Then I'm grabbing a medium shade from the palette again and applying that on my outer lid area and outer crease, and just buff that color in until I get the desired intensity. And then I'm going to grab an even deeper shade from the palette on my Sonia Kashuk large crease brush, and I'm just using circular motions to buff that color on my outer lid area and outer crease and building it up until I get the desired intensity. Now I'm going back into the palette and grabbing that deep red and brown shade on my Hakuhodo J5523 brush. This is another blend-in brush, and I'm just going to apply that now on my outer lid area, kind of pulling it towards the middle of the lid, and I'm just going back and forth and blending this color in. And I'm just building up dimension on my outer lid and outer crease area just to give myself a nice contoured eye look. And I'm just going back and forth building up the color to get the dimension that I want, but blending at the same time to make sure we don't have any harsh lines. Then I'm grabbing the black from the palette and just lightly dabbing it on my outer V area. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe off my brush and then start blending that color in a C shape rather than a sharp outer V. I'm just trying to build up dimension but not have any harsh lines. So I'm just going to go back and forth and blend that color out. And I'm going back in with that larger fluffy blending brush and going back and forth again just to make sure we have zero harsh lines. Then I'm going back to the palette and I'm grabbing two of the lighter shades. These are just creamy neutral shades. I'm going to apply that with the same blending brush on the middle of my lid and on the inner tear duct of my lid. Just blending it back and forth so we have a lighter color on the lid. Then I'm grabbing my Makeup Geek Afterglow pigment, which is a shimmery champagne shade, and I'm going to grab that on my Ray Morris Lash Line Smudger brush and apply that just on my inner tear duct area until I get the desired intensity and blend that out. I just want to give a pop of highlight on that inner tear duct area. So I'm building the color up and then blending it out. And now for the fun part, I'm grabbing my glitter. This is 3D Gold from MAC and my Lit Cosmetics Clearly Liquid Glitter Base. I'm just grabbing some on my finger, working it between my thumb and my middle finger. Then I'm going to grab the glitter as well and then work it between my fingers. And this is going to just give me a nice layer rather than being chunky. It's going to be a nice even layer on my finger. And then I'm going to tap it over the middle of my lid. Just trying to get a sparse effect rather than a layer of chunky glitter. So I'm just tapping it over my lid. And I'm going back and forth building up the glitter so I get a nice even distribution. But I don't want it to be chunky. I'm kind of just layering it on so I get a nice kind of diffused effect. And there you have it. That's how it will look. And as you can see, I have glitter all over my face. I'm going to grab a piece of Scotch tape and just dab over that glitter to pull it off my skin. And I'm just removing it from my skin so I won't affect my foundation or have glitter all over my face and look like a straight disco ball. Now we can move on to the rest of the skin. I'm grabbing my Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. This is oil-free and is pore minimizing. And I'm just going to blend that all over my skin using my It Cosmetics for ULTA foundation brush. And I love this brush for blending out primers and different facial products before foundation. And while that primer sets, I'm going to go back and fix some of the eyeshadow, taking off some of the glitter where it shouldn't be and trying to blend it out with some eyeshadow. And then I'm also going to grab a little bit more glitter and tap it over the areas that look a little sparse. I'm just building it up so it looks a little bit more even on both eyes, and I actually look like I put some effort into placing it rather than just sprinkling it on my face. Then I'm going to grab my mascara, which of course is my Too Faced Better Than Sex, and I'm going to apply that to my upper lashes. Now I'm grabbing my foundation, which is my Dior Star Foundation in the shade 50. And I'm also mixing this with my Dior Nude Foundation, and this is in the shade 41. And I mix these two because the 50 shade from the Star Foundation is a little bit too dark and I need to lighten it up. So I'm using a Dior foundation again that's a little lighter than my skin tone, and mixing them together. And then I'm going to buff that over my skin using my 104 buffer brush from Zoeva, and just make sure I get a nice even application of that foundation. Then I'm grabbing my concealer from Shea Moisture. This is in the shade Havasu Honey, and I'm applying that under my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, and also in my forehead area, and going ahead and blending that out again with one of my angled foundation brushes from Zoeva, just to make sure I have a little highlight in the center of my face. Not too much, not too overwhelming, just a nice subtle highlight. Then I'm going over that with my foundation brush to blend out any edges so there are no harsh edges and I don't look crazy. Then I'm going in with my Tarte Sculptor pencil, And this is just a contour pencil. It has very light pigmentation, but it's so natural that I love using it for my nose, so I don't get that harsh contour line that people tend to have, and I just don't think that looks good. And I'm just going to blend it out with my It Cosmetics for ULTA buffing brush. And this is just going to blend it out nicely so it looks nice and even. Now we can move on to my lashes, and these are my Scarlet lashes from Minked Lashes, and these are horsehair, which I absolutely love. And I'm going to apply my glue to that, and I'm using the House of Lashes glue just because I know it's going to stay on forever and stick really well. So I'm just grabbing that. I have to use it up anyway. And I'm applying these lashes, and these are horsehair lashes versus mink hair. These are much lighter. They feel much more natural on your own lashes. They're lightweight and they look feathery and beautiful, so that's why I'm using them. Then I'm grabbing my MAC waterproof brow set. This is in the shade Ebony Brown or Brown Ebony, and I'm just setting my brows with that so they stay in place all night. Then I'm going to finish up the eyes with my mascara on my lower lashes, and I'm not applying eyeliner or anything, just going with mascara. And then since I'm not using eyeliner, I'm going to separate my lashes with a clean spoolie just to make sure they're nice and feathery rather than being clumpy. I'm also going to do the same on my upper lashes with my Tweezer Man Lash Comb. And you have to be careful because this is metal and it can poke the hell out of your eyes, so I'm just separating my lashes with the lash comb and going in with my Schumacher S curler and curling my natural lashes and the false eyelashes together so they blend a little bit better. And there go the eyes, completely done. So now let's go finish up the rest of the face. Then I'm grabbing my Girl On setting powder. This is the mineral powder and it's in the shade Door, which is the darkest shade, and I'm buffing that on with my Tarte buffing brush, the Air Buki brush, which I love for buffing on powder. This is going to give me a nice natural look to my skin without being too matte. And for my contour, I'm using my Makeup Forever Sculpting Kit number 2 and my It Cosmetics Angled Radiance brush, applying that to the hollows of my cheeks and a little bit to my forehead. Then I'm grabbing the highlight shade and applying it just in my forehead area and down the bridge of my nose. And for a shimmery highlight, I'm going in with my Too Faced Candlelight Duo. And this is a beautiful highlight shade. I love it. I'm applying that with my Zoeva highlight brush just on the tops of my cheeks. Nothing too crazy. Again, I'm not trying to be too overwhelming with this look. For my blush, I'm grabbing Peony Petal from MAC, which is a light pink blush, and I'm just going to buff that in with my Zoeva buffing brush. This is going to give me a nice light flush to my skin, nothing too overwhelming, something very subtle. And then bam, I put my dress on and my earrings, and these are both from BB, even though the dress is 2 years old, so I don't think they have it anymore. And that's the face completely done. And I'm grabbing my Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray just to set everything in place. I mean, we're going to be dancing all night, so I don't want my makeup to move. And we can move on to the lips, which I'm going to use a red. And this is my Kat Von D liquid lipstick in Outlaw. It's a bright, vivid red, and it's matte and it clings to my lips, so I know I don't have to worry about touching up. And then I'm going to outline that with my ColourPop Lippy Stick in the shade Bossy, which is a bright, vivid red as well, and it blends in nicely with this lipstick. Outline my lips to sharpen up that shape. Then I'm going in with another layer of the lipstick just to make it really intense and bright. And there goes the finished look with the lips, which I think came together really well, goes really well with my dress. And I brought the lipstick along just in case to touch up. And here I go. Here's my dress. Again, it's 2 years old, so I don't think they have it again, but it's just a golden sequin dress. And my shoes are Louboutin. I forget the style, but they're nude pumps that I really think is classic and goes well with this gold dress without being overwhelming. And then here's my husband, who decided he needed to be on camera too, and he's wearing black slacks with a burgundy velvet blazer, and his shirt is a pinstripe black and white with red dots or red accents and a black slim tie. Yeah, he thinks he's fly, so he looks good though. I thought so. And that's it. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's my first real true get ready with me with outfit and everything, and it's a voiceover, so hopefully you enjoyed and have a happy and safe holiday. Bye.